Alright, welcome back to today's discussion, which will be an extended discussion on offer. In yesterday's session, we completed offer where we had different types of offer: general offer, specific offer, cross offer, counter offer, standing offer, and we understood the definition of offer along with one case law called Carlyle versus Carbolic Smoke Ball Company. Right? Now, the same lines, this can be an expected question for exam. When I say expected question, it may come, it may not come, but being prepared is always good. Some topics, there are sure shot questions, it will come, I will let you know. Prepare well for that. These are the questions where it may come, it may not come, but if it comes, it's a jackpot. You can easily score marks on it because the complexity is not there in it. Right? So, what are the essentials of a valid offer? First, we understood what is an offer. If an offer has to be valid, what and all has to come within it, along with it, right? First one, it must be capable of creating legal relationship. I have put something in the bracket called social issues. What does it mean? When an offer made by a person to another person is very social in nature, it does not have a concept of creating legal relationship. What do you mean by legal relationship? When I am making an offer to someone, I am legally bound to perform my set of promises. And the other person is also legally bound to perform their set of promises. If it is just a case where I am promising on a social cause, let's say a father told a kid, saying that if you score 90 plus in plus 2 or second PUC or whatever it is, I'll get you a bike. And he in fact scores 90 plus, and if father doesn't buy a bike for the kid cannot go to court because there is no obligation, there is no legal obligation. It was more about love and affection. I'm not saying love and affection cannot become a contract. Later on we will see love and affection also being part of a contract. The basic issue is social issues cannot bind you legally. For example, if somebody has invited you for their wedding by giving a invitation card, and you told her, Pakka, I will come, don't worry. This day, I'll be there, don't worry. And on the wedding day, you didn't go. Assuming you are going to come like that, there are so many people who have been invited to the wedding, and the food was prepared for those people in anticipation that they will come, and most of them didn't turn out that day. The food was wasted, right? In such scenario, if it is a case where, oh, you didn't come, I invited you, you still didn't come, because of you food is wasted, so I'm going to file a case on you. How foolish you, isn't it? It's a social issue where there is no legal bondage or legal relationship. So, whenever you're making an offer, it must be capable of creating legal relationship. Are we clear on that? So, keyword to remember this is, it should not be a social issue. So, mention in your answer, there should be a legal relationship, means bondage, legal bondage should happen, only then the offer is valid. If it is a social issue, it is not valid. That means the offer itself is not valid. Are we clear on this basics? Second, it must be certain, defined or definite, and not vague. Whenever an offer is vague or it creates confusion, or it is not certain, or if it is not definite, then we cannot say the offer is valid. Sir, what do you mean by this? Can you give some example? Yes, of course. Let's say when you go to a shop, okay? Suppose he is a dealer of different oils, coconut oil, groundnut oil, whatever different types of oils we have, sunflower oil, okay? You tell, give me 1 liter of oil. You are making an offer, correct? You give me 1 liter of oil is what? You are making an offer. The shopkeeper is confused as to what sort of an oil he is asking. Whether he is asking coconut oil, whether he is asking groundnut oil, or whether he is asking any other nature of oil. Understand? So, when you make an offer, it should be certain. I want 1 liter of coconut oil. Understanding? I want 1 liter of sunflower oil. If you just ask oil, where he has multiple dealer or multiple products who the oil merchant is dealing with, then the offer is said to suffer from certainty and it is not definite. For the example of vagueness, let's say you go and talk to your friend telling that I am ready to sell my car. He is interested to buy the car. You are making an offer, he is accepting the offer. If you tell, I am ready to sell the car at whatever price you decide, he decides one price, then it is okay. If you say, listen, I am ready to sell my car at 5 lakh rupees or 6 lakh rupees, then it is not defined. It is very totally vague. My car is somewhere, I don't know when it will come. If it comes, I will sell. Yes, there is an element of contingency here. But the price is not certain. It is vague. 5 lakhs or 6 lakhs means what? There is no certainty over there. So whenever an offer has been posted by the offerer to the acceptor, it has to be certain, it has to be definite, it has to be non-vague. Understood? Clear about it? Second point, any doubts? Fine. Now, the third is very important case law also. It must be communicated to the offeree. Who is the offeree? The other party. As an offerer, if it is kept in my mind only, or I have told to so many people accept the offeree, it doesn't mean that I have made an offer to the offeree. Offeree is one step before acceptance. If I am the offerer, if the other party is the acceptor, before accepting, the other party is called offeree. Understanding the legal term? Now what do we mean by this? If there is no communication of an offer, that means the offer is not valid. If the other party is not knowing that you made an offer, how can he accept it? Which we discussed in the previous session itself. Are we clear on this point? A beautiful popular case law was Lalman Shukla versus Gauri Dutt. Right? What do you find in this case law? Now, Mr. Lalman Shukla, he had lost his nephew. Okay, he had lost his nephew. So, what did he do? He announced to the whole world, that anybody who would pick up or who would bring that missing posters you have seen, senior citizens being missed or kids being missed, then you put a poster, right? Such sort of a scenario. So Lalman Shukla had lost his nephew and he announced to the whole world telling that whoever brings the nephew, they will be adequately rewarded. This is fine, but one step before, if you see the facts of the case, what happened? Lalman Shukla had announced the whole world that anybody who brings their nephew will get adequately rewarded. However, Gauri Dutt, unknowing of this fact that Lalman Shukla has announced it, he went in search of the nephew. Understanding the case here? He somehow found the nephew and he brought the nephew to Lalman Shukla. He was happy. Then later he came to know that Lalman Shukla had announced to the whole world that there was a reward waiting for him. Understanding the case here? Now logically what the Gauri Dutt would have done, he or she, whoever it is, would have come to Lalman Shukla. Listen boss, you had announced to the whole world that you will be giving so and so rewards if they find the nephew. I have brought the nephew, please give me the rewards. Now see the twist in the case. Lalman Shukla told, I announced to the whole world, correct, but you had not known that. If you see Carlyle versus Carbolic Smoke Ball Company, that was also announced to the whole world, but conditions were given. Miss Carlyle adopted those conditions and still got influenza, therefore she was entitled for the reward. Correct, Allah? Now what Gauri Dutt has done is, that person was not even aware of this offer before getting the nephew and handing over to Lalman Shukla. The person was not even aware of the nephew. I mean, this offer was existing. In such scenario, what happens? There was no offer made at all to the person who found it. Here, Gauri Dutt has literally found the missing nephew and brought the missing nephew to Lalman Shukla. There ends the matter. But Can we say announcing to the whole world means even Gauri Dutt had known that? No, Gauri Dutt, had she known about it, she would have inquired first. She would have asked Lalman Shukla, did you make this announcement? If yes, thank you, we will find the person and then we will do it. What has happened? The nephew has been found out, handed over. Later the other person comes to know that okay, there was an offer like this. Now I am coming and asking you, since you had made an offer, if you find out the nephew, which I have in fact found out the nephew for you, can you give the reward? Which the other person, that is the offerer, so-called offerer, says, sorry, I never made an offer to you. Understood the case? Which means, what is that we are trying to tell? Must be communicated to the offeree. Who is the offeree here? The person who brought the nephew, that person is the offeree here. It was not communicated to the offeree and therefore it was not valid. So, what is the point to be noted? An offer, if it has to be valid, the offeree, the offer has to be communicated to the offeree. If the offeree is not aware of the offer, then question of offer does not exist. When question of offer does not exist, question of acceptance does not arise. Are we clear on the Lalman Shukla versus Gauri Dutt case? Sure? Any doubt in that? Fantastic. No. This we have already learned, the fourth point we have already learned in the definition of offer itself. What is that? It must be with a view to obtaining the assent of the other party. Understanding? What is that? It again correlates with the third point. When I made an offer to the other person to find out my nephew and get, then I am giving an offer with a view to obtaining the assent of the other party. Now I made an offer to so many people except this fellow, then how can he accept it? He cannot accept it because offer was not made to him. It was not with an intention to obtain the approval of the other party. Are we clear on this? In our basic definition itself, it says it with a view to obtain the assent of the other party. If I am making an offer without any view to obtain the assent of the other party, then it is not an offer at all in the first case. Are we clear on this? It gels with the third point and also correlates the issue when it comes to the definition of offer. Next, it beautifully brings out another point called it may be conditional. Whenever you are putting an offer, you can put a condition stating that if you do this, only then I will sell the car. For example, I want to sell the car at 5 lakh rupees of so and so make, so and so brand and so year model. If you are interested, you need to transfer the funds in through bank only. You need to give check only. You need to give DD only. You need to do RTGS only. If I put a condition like that, and if somebody comes and gives me cash, I am not liable to honor the same. He might tell cash, check, all one and the same, money is money. But I have put a condition stating that I want the proceeds in so and so way. Understanding? For example, if I tell I am ready to sell my car at 5 lakh rupees worth, provided you sell your other car to me. Now if you give money for that, it is not through a valid offer because there is a condition. What is the condition? I want an exchange here and not money here. Are we understanding the situation? I want an exchange here because I specifically put a condition. If the condition is not satisfied, then the offer is not valid. It can be an unconditional offer also. What is an unconditional offer? I am ready to sell my car at 5 lakh rupees, so and so make, so and so model. That's it. You give in cash, you give me an exchange, you give me through check, RTGS, NEFT, doesn't matter because it was unconditional. If it is conditional and if you don't satisfy the condition, the offer is not valid. Are we clear on this point? Sure. Are you all getting what to write in the exam? Right? You need to read once from the textbook, frame an answer in your mind. At least 4 to 5 lines has to come with an example probably. The best way to communicate an answer is to give an example. You write the headings and then write the content of what is required for the respective provision and of course give an example. Your own example is fine. None of my examples except the case laws what I am discussing comes from the textbook. We can create our own examples. If it is oil, you can tell car. If it is car, you can tell bike. It doesn't matter. As long as the basic essence of the provisions are clearly explained, you will get your marks. Are we clear on this point? Yes. Fantastic. Next, must not contain a term, that means an offer must not contain a term, the non-compliance of which would amount to acceptance. Beautifully worded this is. So if I am giving an offer and it has certain terms, that means it has certain words written, those words are in such a way that if you don't perform that, I automatically treat it as acceptance. In simple words, silence is not acceptance. In simple words, silence is not acceptance. We will elaborately discuss about acceptance later. At this point of time, what I am trying to communicate is, if I put certain words like, I am ready to sell my car at 5 lakh rupees. If I don't hear from you within 1 week, I will assume that you are accepted. If I put such words, then how in this world can I believe that that other person has accepted just because he is silent? What are the words used? If I don't hear from you within 1 week, then I shall treat it as accepted. How can you design how the other person has to accept it? So, if there is certain terms, the non-compliance of which, that means if you are not performing it, which would amount to acceptance, then such offer is invalid. Whenever such offer is invalid, question of acceptance does not arise. Are we clear on this point? Sure? Fantastic. Next, it may be general or specific. We have seen this already. General offer, Carlyle versus Cargolic Smoke Ball Company. Specific offer made to a particular party. Right, and no other person can accept it. Next, it may be express or implied. Beautiful points comes out over here. Express means what? Orally telling it, or in writing you give it. Correct? What is implied? I'll give you an example. You know that a bus travels from place A to place B. Right? You went and sat into the bus. You know the price is 200 rupees. You took a 200 rupees note and gave it to the conductor. The conductor tore the ticket and gave it to you. Neither of the persons have spoken anything. Neither of the persons have written anything. But it is implied that by sitting in the bus seat, you are entering into a contract with him for the purpose of travel from place A to place B. This is an offer made by you. And immediately by ticket being told by the bus conductor and handing over to you, which is still an implied nature, he is also not asked you. He is understood that, okay, you all sat in the bus to travel from place A to place B, and therefore you are asking a ticket, and I tore the ticket and I gave it to you. So completely not spoken, not written, but an implied nature comes into play. So an offer can be implied also. Further, textbook has also given a beautiful example. Let's say you wanted to get your shoe polished. You went, a cobbler was there, you gave your shoes, he didn't ask you anything, you didn't ask him anything, he polished the shoes and he gave back the shoes. Now he is asking 20 rupees. If you say, I never made an offer. If you say, I never made an offer, what the hell were you doing when he was polishing? Understanding? So you are bound to give 20 rupees because you impliedly made an offer by giving your shoes to him for polishing. Are we clear on this concept of implied? In English law, that is in United Kingdom, the same contract act is there, they call this as tacit offer. Implied offer or tacit offer, T-A-C-I-T. Tacit offer. Tacit offer and implied offer means one and the same. Any doubts on this? Clear? Fantastic. And last issue where we'll have to spend a little time, because this chunk can come for an independent 5 marks question. The whole can come for a 10 marks question or 8 marks question as the case may be. But this can come for an independent question. What are the other issues relating to a valid offer? Shall we see that? Yes. What are the other issues? A mere statement of intention and an announcement cannot become an offer. A mere statement. Okay, there was a party going on, all your friends was there, okay, one of your friends asked, okay, it's almost about 5 years old, your car. What do you want to do about your car? Yeah, I'm intending to sell the car in a near foreseeable future, maybe 1 or 2 months down the line. Right? And after that 1 or 2 months down the line, if one of your friends comes and tells that day you told in the party that you wanted to sell the car, I want to buy the car, can you give? It was just an intention which has been told. He never made an offer to anyone. Did he make an offer? It was a party, first and foremost a social issue. Correct? Second, he told her it's an old car, I would like to sell the car quickly, or I would like to exchange the car quickly for a new car. He is only expressing his intention to sell, and he never made a specific offer or general offer to anybody. If it were to be a general offer, he would have told in the party, hey, listen guys, in the party, I am ready to sell my car at 5 lakh rupees, whoever is interested can come and meet me. Then it is a general offer. If in the party itself, he tells his friend, hey listen Mr. B, I want to sell my car at 5 lakh rupees of so and so make, so and so model. Are you interested to buy? Then it is a specific offer. But here what is happening, friends are chit-chatting, he's saying, okay, it's a 5 years old car, I would like to look out for a new car. I'm only expressing my intention. I'm announcing, no doubt. I'm announcing that I want to sell my car. But when, what price, all those things never came into picture. Going further in the same example, if in the same party, one of your friends comes and tells, oh, you intend to sell your car, fantastic. Can I guess the price, what you want to sell? If he says maybe around 4 to 5 lakh rupees, again he's still expressing only an intention. And 4 to 5 lakh rupees will be questioned as vagueness. See here, where is that? It becomes vague. So then also it is not a valid offer. Are we clear about this example? Going forward, offer must be different from an answer to the question. Offer must be different from an answer to the question, very uniquely brought out. It will go into the subtle roots of thinking of a human being. Harvey versus Facey is the case law. Fantastic case law, landmark judgment, long, more than 100 years old case law these are. What is the facts of Harvey versus Facey? Let's see that. Yes, it's given in your textbook, you can go through it, but I would like to put up the summary part and tell you only the crux of the issue. The detailed explanation is there, don't worry. My explanation and the detailed explanation will be the same in the textbook. You need not have to worry. I only want you to read so that you can write elaborately. Here, one party says the other party, I want to buy your pen. I want to buy your pen and please quote the lowest price. He sends a letter or whatever it is. I want to buy your pen and please quote the lowest price. Now when it comes to please quote the lowest price, the other party has set the lowest price. 900 pounds I think it is in the textbook, it is 900 pounds. Now later on what has happened, this particular person who believed that he's already accepted it, because he made an offer, right? I want to buy your pen and please quote the lowest price. In response to that, the other party has quoted the lowest price. What do I believe now? Okay, he's quoted the lowest price, therefore he's accepted my offer is what the belief is. But if you strictly see the point, did he agree to sell the pen? He's only quoted the lowest price. That means a mere statement of a price, which is the second point, which is the next point. Just giving a statement of a price doesn't mean you accepted it. That means the offer is still not yet valid. Are we clear on this? What is the summary here? Court told, listen, you have offered with two questions. Question number one, I want to buy the pen. Question number two, please quote the lowest price. The fact that he's quoted the lowest price means he though answered the second question, he's still yet to answer the first question. He's not yet given the information that he wants to sell his pen, and therefore the offer is still not valid. Understood Harvey versus Facey case? Beautiful things, these are landmark judgments. About 100 years back, the human mindset is thinking so deeply. We are seeing generations and generations of reading the same case laws, and still I fail to understand why people will get confused with all these things. Simple facts. I want to buy a pen. Please quote the lowest price. He's quoted the lowest price, but he's not answered the first question, and therefore the offer is still not valid. Convinced? As I told you, the next point is interconnected with the Harvey versus Casey case. Because of Harvey versus Casey case only, the next point comes into picture. Just the statement of price is not an offer. And that is why if you observe in my previous session when we discussed about invitation to offer, you going to the shop and picking up a product where price is there, he is still not making an offer, he is still making only an invitation to offer. By just putting up a price, it is not an offer. Understood? Now for example, if you go to a second-hand car showroom, a used car showroom, right? The car is parked over there and they would have put a sticker as to what is the price. He is only inviting you to make an offer at that price. He is not telling I am ready to sell the car at that price. If he still wants to deny you the car, he can deny you. You have to make an offer and he will have to accept it. Are we clear on these points? Any doubt? Sure? Fantastic. The last thing, though I have covered that in my previous session itself about invitation to offer, specifically I wanted to talk about concept of auction. Right? Now, what happens in an auction? A particular product is available for sale and there are bidders from the public. There's an auction conducted like an IPL auction. People start bidding. You know, the moment one bidder bids a price, let's say he says 50,000 rupees, I am an auctioneer keeping the product available for sale. The moment you bid, that doesn't mean that I have to accept it. That doesn't mean that I have to accept it. And that is why traditionally we have this concept of go, go and gone. We hit 3 times the hammer. Hammer hit 3 times, only then the auction is completed. Only then the contract is completed, or only then the sale is completed. Which means, when an auction is done, just because the product is available for sale and the other person has bid, it doesn't mean that there is an offer. It is still an invitation to offer only. We'll have to wait. There could be another bidder who could give a better price. He might tell 55,000. Does it mean that I've already sold it to a person who quoted 50,000? No. There was no contract established. I am still at the initial stage of invitation to offer only. What I am trying to tell, this is a product, you bid. I am inviting you to make an offer. You made an offer of 50,000, the other person made an offer of 55,000, another third person made an offer of 75,000. I will sell it to the highest bidder. I may sell it to the lowest bidder also. That is my choice. Understood? So it is still an invitation to offer and connected to that auction. Auction ends up in a concept called invitation to offer. It is not an offer. Are we clear on all these points? Yes. So, first session on offer basics and these important points, any of this can come for an exam. Minimum 5 marks can come, maximum 8 marks can come. Are we clear on this? In the next session, we will be discussing on acceptance, right? Thank you very much.